We are live, guys. Yo, what up, guys? This is your boy Kofi with KO Sports Talk. Back at it with a video, another video. It's been a minute since I've made a video. I think it's been, damn, when was the last time I made like a serious video? Yeah, been almost a month, but I'm back at it, guys. I'm back with another video. I'm gonna start doing a podcast with one of my special guests. His name is Charles Miller, and this guy got potential. So please show him some love for this Monday. I'm going to see if I can do a podcast. If I'm not busy, probably Tuesday, but stay tuned for that. But today, guys, I wanted to make this video. About the Chicago Bears and why they're going to shock a lot of the national media pundits for this upcoming 2022 season, 2021, 2022 season. Yeah, technically it's 2021, 2022 season. People say it's 2022, 2023, but it's 2021, 2022. But I'm going to explain why. I'm going to give my 3 keys to why the Chicago Bears are going to be shocking a lot of the national media pundits for this upcoming season. So let me start off with this video. So, of course, a lot of national media pundits, they're very, very low on the Chicago Bears. A lot of them saying that they're going to be the worst team this upcoming season. ESPN, freaking Bleacher Report, National Enquirer, a lot of these national media, Darren Orlovsky, freaking, what's that other guy from NBC Sports? Mike Florio. I mean, I can name all of them, man. Freaking Colin Cowherd. All these guys saying that the Bears are going to be horrible this season. They're going to suck. They're going to be the worst team in the NFL. And guess what? Every time the national media is always down on the Bears always seem to do well. Prior to the 2018 season, right? Everybody was going to say, oh, the Bears are going to be a middling team. They're going to be the worst team. You know, even when we acquired Khalil Mack, a lot of people were still down on us. But guess what? We went 12-4. We shocked the world. We shocked a lot of media pundits. They're saying, oh, we're going to win the Super Bowl or whatever. We're going to be good. You know, and of course, you know, with the whole double doink happen, you know. But who would have knows if Cody Parkey would have made that field goal? I mean, probably would have gone all the way. Hell, we probably might have even won it. Some people say we might have even won it because we were that good. And coming into this season, a lot of the media have us ranked dead last in the post NFL draft because we made very, very questionable, so-called questionable draft picks, with us picking Kyler Gordon in the second round, Jaquan Brisker, and then reaching in the third round, picking Velus Jones. A lot of the media were saying that why didn't the Bears were questioning why the Bears did not pick a high quality offensive tackle or a wide receiver, high end wide receiver in the draft, or why didn't they sign a big name wide receiver? Well, because Poles was doing his best, right? He was going by what he think is best with his draft board. Ryan Poles is a man of conviction, man. Like, he's not waived by the national media. He's not waived by the Chicago Bears fans. You know, I even questioned his moves. But now looking back at it, I understood why he made that decision, the decisions that he made in the draft, because he wanted to pick, you know, with the Jaquan Brisker and the Kyler Gordon picks, he wanted to pick the best available player, the best available player. When the Bears were up, there weren't any best available wide receivers at that point. You know, there weren't any best available wide receivers at that point. And there weren't any best available offensive tackles at that point. And so the best alternative that he had to do is that he had to pick a defensive back, which was a cornerback and a safety. And looking back this past season, our secondary was dead last in passer rating. They were dead last in giving up number of touchdowns. I mean, our secondary was just god awful. Kendall Vildor, aside from Jalen Johnson, who was playing phenomenal, our secondary was bad. Kendall Vildor, getting blown out, getting beaten, losing his man, getting beaten by wide receivers. Freaking Duke Shelley not playing well. Eddie Jackson not playing, not being himself. Always getting blown coverages. I mean, Tashawn Gibson, at times he kind of plays solid, but age kind of caught up to him. And so we had a need at a strong safety. We had a need a strong safety and a cornerback too. And looking back at the pick, this was a smart decision. This is a very, very smart decision by Ryan Poles to pick those players, because Kyler Gordon in 600 snaps did not allow a single touchdown at all. Did not allow a single touchdown. Now that is great. The kid is really good. And of course, you got Jaquan Brisker, who's known as a big bruiser, who's known as a natural strong safety, who's known as a box safety. At times, he comes down and makes that tackle very hard and very frequently. And that was what we were missing. We were missing a strong safety, because after Adrian Amos left the 2018 season, we signed HaHa Clinton Dix, and they moved Eddie Jackson to the strong safety, which was not good. Not very good. Moved into the strong safety. And so when we got Jaquan Brisker, it was a home run move, man. It was a home run move. And this kid, he could play linebacker at times. He could play linebacker, or he could play the box safety. And that's going to make Eddie Jackson's job so much easier, because we already know Eddie Jackson is a natural free safety. And when you give him the chance to play free safety, you do not want to throw his way. You do not want to throw Eddie Jackson's way, because he will get you, and he will make that pick. He will get that pick, sometimes even make a pick six, man. But my reason number one, why I think the Bears are going to shock the national people in the national media and a lot of Bears fans, such as myself, because number one, of course, our secondary is better. And I already explained that already. Number one, our secondary got better. And speaking why our secondaries got better is that it's also going to help our defensive line. Now, last year, our defensive line was one of the top in number of sacks. And with our secondary getting better, it's really going to shore up a lot of the coverages. It's going to really take a lot of time for a lot of defensive linemen to rush the quarterback. Now, last year, like I said, I think we were top 5 or top 10 in number of sacks. Robert Quinn, he had he broke the record, Richard Dent's record for number of sacks in the season. Now, granted, he might not do it again. Who knows? He might break. He might get close to it. But if he's able to have the level of production he had this past season, in this season, man, the Bears are going to be in for a treat. Along with unknown guys like Justin Jones, Al-Quadin Mohammed, who else? Travis Gibson, Angelo Blackson, Mario Edwards Jr. You got a lot of studs in that defensive line, a whole bunch of studs in that defensive line. And so that's really going to help out the defensive line to get to that quarterback quickly and as early as often. Key number 2, the coaching. The reason why the Bears are going to shock the world is because of the coaching. The coaching has gotten better. Matt Eberflus has really gotten a lot of these guys to buy in the OTAs. A lot of these players are really buying in. Most of these players is at 100% attendance. They're really buying in into his hits philosophy. How should I say it? Luke Getsy has been working with Justin Fields with that new type of style offense, that running zone type of offense that gets Justin Fields on the move, bootleg, RPO play, that allows their running backs to run through the A gap and through the B gap. Um, that's going to pretty much just help Justin Fields progress into the player that us Bears fans want him to be, a franchise quarterback. Now, last year, Matt Nagy, he did not prepare Justin Fields. He did not prepare him at all to be to kind of groom him in, to kind of help mold him into the quarterback that how should I say it, that he wanted him to be. He wanted to take that Andy Reid type of style of just allowing Patrick Mahomes just to sit back, kind of like that whole Andy Reid, allowing Patrick Mahomes to sit one season, let Alex Smith play, let him learn from Alex Smith, and then next year he's going to be good. That whole formula didn't work. Through the season, we were switching between quarterbacks. Andy Dalton got hurt within week 2. They put Justin Fields in. They threw him to the fire, and he had to learn on the jump. He had to learn the type of scheme that Andy Dalton's that tailors to Andy Dalton and not to Justin Fields. And guess what happened? Justin Fields was thrown into the fire. He didn't have he had a horrible season. I think he had like 7 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. He had a couple fumbles because Matt Nagy did not prepare him. He did not prepare him week in and week out, understanding the opposition's coverages, understanding defensive coverages. Justin Fields pretty much had to learn on his own. He was just kind of like a lost puppy. He looked like a lost puppy out there. His coaches just threw him under the bus. The coaching staff threw him under the bus. The management threw him under the bus. And he felt like a lost puppy out there. And that's why he did not succeed. And people were always saying, "Oh, coach don't matter." Like sometimes a coach can be above, a player can be above reproach. A generational talent can be above reproach. No, it doesn't work all the time. Granted, like it's rare. It's rare for players like that, to kind of be above reproach like that, i.e., you have what's his name, Justin Herbert or whatever, or certain players like that. Coaching matters. Tom Brady wouldn't be the type of player that he is if he didn't have Bill Belichick, if he didn't have the coaches to help him be the player that he is now. Russell Wilson wouldn't be the type of player that he is now if he didn't have Pete Carroll. Aaron Rodgers wouldn't be the type of player if he didn't have Mike McCarthy, so on and so forth. Peyton Manning wouldn't be the type of player if he didn't have Tony Dungy. These type of great coaches to help mold them into being the great quarterback that they were throughout their career. And now that Justin Fields having a capable coach, Matt Eberflus, who's coached for over 30 years, who've have coaches, Tyke Tolbert, who's the new DC, who's that DC? I think it's Mike Williams. If he didn't have these types of coaches, these coaches with many years of learning defensive schemes, learning offensive schemes, they're really going to help out Justin Fields become the player that he needs to be. And that's what Justin Fields needs. That's what's going to help him improve in this upcoming offseason. And now he doesn't have to worry about Andy Dalton taking first team reps. He ain't got to worry about going in between back and forth or who's the consensus number 1 player. Justin Fields is the man. Ryan Poles even said that we are all in on Justin Fields. Matt Eberflus and Ryan Poles says we are all in. We are all in on Justin Fields right now. And man, that is like music to my ears, because with this new and improved offense, with Luke Getsy's new offense, that Kyle Shanahan, Mike Shanahan type of run zone offense, which pretty much caters to Justin Fields' strength, is going to help him improve him to be the type of player that Bears fans want him to be, a franchise quarterback. Reason number three. Reason number three why the Bears are going to shock the national media is that number three, this ties into my second or to my first or to my second point. The players are buying in. People are committed. Everybody is in sync. From the coaching staff to the players to the athletic trainers, everybody is buying in. Everybody is buying in. I can't tell you how important that is. Everybody's buying in. It's important for this culture, right? Last year, Nat Nagy was pretty much just lackadaisical. He was just laid back. You had half of the players, half of the veterans who were just, just doing their own business or whatever, and you had, like, of course, you had the rookies. Of course, the rookies had to be there, to play. But most of the people from last year, they weren't there. They didn't really buy in too much, Of course, they had that little bucket thing, whatever, whenever you got a takeaway, but it really didn't do much, Sean Desai, he wasn't as hard. He wasn't as tough as he is on the players. Matt Nagy was not very disciplined. He was very undisciplined, an undisciplined coach, and it really showed. It really showed in the games that we played. Lots of penalties, players going out of control. They weren't controlling their tempers, And this year is very different, Matt, I keep saying Matt Nagy. Matt Eberflus, he's really been on these players, being disciplined. Like I said, with Jalen Johnson being benched, playing with the second team unit, because Jalen Johnson, he hasn't been fully in per se, but this is clear motivation, for a player like Jalen Johnson, to be better. It doesn't even matter. You could be the star player. You could be from a star player to the role player. These coaches, they are not, what's that word I'm trying to say? They don't show any type of partiality. They don't show any type of favoritism. They don't show any of that. They want to make sure everybody buys in, and almost everybody is buying in. And when everybody buys in, you have a strong culture. When you have a strong culture, you create a winning culture. And when you create a winning culture, it turns into what I say, lots of championships. It turns into championships. It turns into going to playoffs multiple years. It turns into lots of marquee players. When people, there's a good culture, there's good coaching. It attracts a lot of big name free agents. And that's how you create more winning. When you create more winning, that's how you get the respect of the national media. But yeah, guys, this is your boy Kofi. I just gave you three reasons why the Chicago Bears will shock. Yes, I said it will shock the national media this upcoming season. So yeah, guys, this is your boy Kofi. Back at another video. And yeah, guys, see you later. I'm out. Peace.